Hello again, this is Find My Footwear and I'm Paul. Today we're looking at two neutral cushion shoes from Bucks, the Ghost 17 and the Glycerin 22. Both these shoes are neutral cushion shoes and both aimed at neutral runners. They do share some similarities, but they do differ also. And there is quite a significant, often a reasonable price difference between them, the Glycerin being the more premium model. So today we're going to examine what you actually get for your money in the Glycerin 22 over the new Ghost 17 and ask, is it worth it? And which you should choose. So first of all, let's look at some of the statistics, and first up we'll look at the Ghost 17. The Ghost 17 has a 37mm stack in the heel and a 27mm stack in the forefoot, so it's a 10mm drop. Weighs in at 10.1 ounces for the men's, 9 ounces for the women's, so that's approximately 286 grams in the men's, 255 grams in the women's model. Whereas the Glycerin 22, that's a little bit thicker. That's 38mm in the heel and 28mm in the forefoot, but again a 10mm drop. Weighs just a fraction heavier at 10.2 ounces or 9.1 ounces for the women's, and that is only around 3 grams more, so 289 grams for men and 255 grams for the women's option. So both the shoes are very similar. So, and with only 1mm stack difference in the Glycerin, is it worth the extra money? It's around 20% more expensive than the Ghost 17. So why? What's going on? Why does the Glycerin 22 cost more? Well, in the Ghost 17, we have the DNA Loft V3 foam, and that's Bucks nitrogen injected foam. And in the Ghost 16 and the new 17, it's the same foam that was used in the previous Glycerin, the Glycerin 21. Try and keep up with all these numbers. But in the Glycerin 22, we're now using DNA tuned, which is a dual cell construction to the nitrogen infused foam, larger cells in the heel, softer cells in the forefoot. Now you can see the kind of semi-translucent nature to the midsole. So we've got this white material, and inside you can see it's yellow, and that's kind of almost shining through. Flip the shoe over to the base, and you can see the yellow foam, particularly in the forefoot. And I don't think you can pick it up on this light actually. It is kind of translucent in the heel area, but not immediately obvious. Ultimately, what it means is, despite it only being 1mm thicker than the Ghost 17 in the Glycerin, you've got a much softer feel, so it's a kind of different density, whereas the Ghost is made up of a single process, a single squashiness, density, firmness, durometer, whatever you want to call it, all the way through the length of the shoe. In the Glycerin, you've got a softer feel in the heel and a much noticeably more responsive feel in the forefoot. So it's a much nicer toe off, it's got a little bit more spring to it. That said, the new Ghost 17 with the 27mm stack in the forefoot is very soft and is very responsive. You just get that extra little pop in the Glycerin 22. Elsewhere in the shoes, well, can you see the difference in the forefoot, or the upper construction of the Glycerin compared to the Ghost? You've got this double jacquard construction, which makes it's kind of a double layer. You can see the royal blue in this one, kind of peeping through the black outer section. So that's called a double jacquard knit construction. It makes it a lot more plush. It makes it a little bit softer. And the Glycerin does fit a little bit roomier in the toe box. In similar width shoes, and they both fit true to size in terms of length and width. You do have a natural little bit of extra wiggle room, shall we say, in the Glycerin. The uppers, as always with Bucks, very good quality, very well made. I've never had an issue with any kind of fault on an upper of a Bucks shoe. In the Ghost, you've got lots of padding around the ankle collar, in the tongue, and in the heel tab. A new heel tab kind of flares away from the Achilles in the Ghost 17, so that's a nice touch. It isn't going to cause any irritation at all, It also helps slide your foot in a little bit more. It's a little bit more welcoming when you slip your foot into the shoe. And now on the Glycerin 22, we've got this double kind of layer construction that we've seen in Asics Nimbus. That's got this similar construction. So lots of padding around the ankle collar and the heel tab, and then we've got this soft kind of section around it. Doesn't really serve any real purpose, to be perfectly honest, but it's a nice finish, and it's a real kind of premium finish. Nicely padded tongue as well, so very good on the instant when the laces, they don't dig in at all or anything like that. Outsole on the Glycerin 22, great rubber coverage, very flexible, lots of grooves in the forefoot, and again with that softer nitrogen injected form, the tuned DNA form in the forefoot, a very plush, responsive, springy kind of toe off. Again, lots of rubber coverage in the Ghost as well. I've said this a few times on some of these videos. Lots of these flex grooves, and that allows it, again, it's a very flexible shoe, so quite nimble. Which you're going to choose? Well, okay, in terms of the overall stack height, they're both very similar. They both feel similar-ish, but there is a distinct difference in the Glycerin 22 over the Ghost. It's a little bit softer in the heel, and it's a little bit springier in the forefoot, whereas you've got the single kind of smooth riding sensation in the Ghost 17. If you've had the Ghost 16 and 15 before, step into the Ghost, it will feel like you're stepping up a grade for the same kind of money. If you're not too concerned about the money, Glycerin is the one to go for, and if you've had previous models, it's the best Glycerin yet. It really does feel lovely. From the moment you step in, it feels soft and welcoming, very plush, very energised. So overall, Glycerin 22 is the winner for me, but exceptional value for money, Ghost 17. Again, as always, any questions, stick them down below. I'm sure there's going to be one or two for these shoes because they are so closely matched and aimed at the same type of runner, the same foot type. So any questions, as always, put them in the comments and I will endeavour to answer all of them. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel as well. We'd really appreciate that. But once again, thanks for watching Find My Footwear.